the Mod Squad. Let's hear it. Here they come, heading for the green flag. We're underway. Let's send them off.
John Anderson makes a drop to the inside, settles into that fourth position. Still by 2 by 2 as Moose Hewitt leads him to the backstretch.
Chris Jones right on his bumper as Steve Shawansky now switches to the outside groove in the number 12 car. Shawansky with a hard dive into turn number 3. The challenge for the lead. Moose Hewitt drifting up a little high as Chris Jones works the low groove. Shawansky on the outside.
Shawansky trying to win this race on lap 2. Here comes Anderson up the outside as well as Shawansky looks for racing room.
Bob Georgitis working the low side as
Trouble,
we have a
turn
caution.
3.
Turn 3 is the problem area as the 90 of Bednarzik goes around. All alone at the back of the field, Bednarzik loses it, bringing
Point race of the season. The first was the Winston 100, which Anderson won.
40-something, 43.
And you talk about consistency, Mike. You look at the record here, and the worst finish that Potter has had all year long is 5th place.
What happened to Shawansky on the start?
Yeah, looks like he cut down a left rear tire, Mike, coming out of turn number 3.
And we get no start because Steve backed up the entire field. Indeed, Ken, the left rear on that car is flat as it comes past, and Steve Shawansky will have to go to the pits. He comes in here deadlocked with Bob Georgitis for 5th in the point standings.
Well, the good news is that he'll at least have a chance to get back out, even though he has to many times over the years. We'll keep an eye on the paddock gate to look for the return of Steve Shawansky. He'll have a long road to hoe now, but he's certainly capable with a few breaks. He can work his... He's getting ready to stand on and go up through the gears. Peter Locke's got the pace car in, and they're coming at you, boys. All right, and here's Mike with the call.
1 lap down, 19 to go. Moose Hewitt is on the button, and he gets a good jump on the number 9 of Chris Jones. John Anderson down into turn number 1, takes the low drop. Jones up in the Ronnie Bouchard groove, and it's going to be Anderson taking 2nd. John Anderson to the lead on Moose Hewitt in turn 3. Wasting no time to the front.
Look at the strong run turned in by Hewitt. He manages to hold off Anderson, but here comes Lloyd Agor down low. Contact between Anderson and Hewitt. Both are okay. Agor drifts up high, and look at Anderson take advantage of the opening. He swings under Hewitt. Hewitt forced to the outside. Bob Georgitis works his way also under Hewitt and takes over 3rd place behind Anderson.
Lloyd Agor made an unbelievable move. It was one of those great move if you make it, Nicky Casso if you don't kind of moves. And he takes the lead.
Also working his way up through the pack, Kurt Brainerd in the 96 now works on Hewitt in the battle for the number 4 position. Brainerd, however, bobbles and drops back some ground to Hewitt.
Trouble on Bob Mercier, who drops back deep in the field. Mike Paquette unable to find some running room, and here comes Bob Potter moving up as the 2 title contenders. We keep an eye on the 1 and the 51 car for this championship. Sylvester way underneath the car out of turn number 2, and a bit of contact there. Didn't knock any of the Tiger stripes off, however.
Frank Wainwright holds that position over Sylvester. Mike Paquette now works under Larry Ross. Here he comes, seeking to move up 1 position, working his way behind Mike Christopher. Across the line they go to complete lap 5.
Jack Urick used to often say here, the moose is loose. Moose Hewitt is fighting a loose race car as the green and black machine of Kurt Brainerd now drops to the inside. Moose holding things up a bit in that 2nd pack of cars as they round out of turn 4.
Todd Jensen moves up now as Jensen takes over the number 5 spot in the 79.
Spin in turn 3, guys. The 28 car got around all by himself.
All right, and that brings out the caution, Ken.
And a spin in turn 2. With a little help, Mike Christopher goes around. Well, as perhaps somebody did or didn't see the caution in that pack of cars. Finds his way back to the line as the caution is for the number 28.
So Teddy will move back to the position in which he was running. He'll not be penalized for that one.
8th, Mike Paquette is 9th as we get set for a restart. Bob Potter, who is battling Paquette for the championship, his number 51, is back in 15th spot. Long way to go. And Agor doesn't. Here he comes, and we're under green. Boy, Agor took a while to get going. Here comes Paquette, way down to the bottom in number 1, and he takes Moose Hewitt going into the corner.
A good move by Paquette. And Agor holding on to that lead, and now a challenge for 2nd. Bob Georgitis challenging John Anderson as they move into the 4th turn. Down low, Jensen also with a challenge of Kurt Brainerd.
Brainerd on the outside, and he's coming hard against John Jensen as they battle for point and race position. Brainerd holds tough on the outside, and he's going to have some steam coming off too.
All right, great action as the field now starts to sort out a little bit. Keep an eye back on Bo Gunning, too. Gunning all over the back bumper of Paquette as he tries to move up, working his way onto Chris Jones at the moment.
Ted Christopher rolls up into 5th spot in number 82, taking the bottom shot at turn 1.
How does it look to you, Ken?
Well, it looks like this guy Igor's got one heck of a setup for today's racetrack. I'll tell you, he's running it right down the center, and it's working real good for him. He's coming off of these turns real fast like he is out of 4.
Bit of a push there for Igor coming off the 4th corner, and John Anderson is right there as he drafts him into turn 1. Igor with a push. Here comes John, and the door gets slammed on his nose.
And Georgitis all over Anderson's back bumper now. John Jensen closing in on our lead pack, and Mike Christopher right behind Jensen. Frank Wainwright doing a good job, along with Mike Paquette alongside.
I think Anderson can kind of bide his time. If that push in Igor's lead car gets worse and he can't keep the car to the bottom, Anderson can shoot through. A little trouble for the 44 there as Frank Wainwright drifts back a spot. Mike Paquette now up into 6th. 13th for Bob Potter, the point leader.
And he certainly has the number 2-point man, Paquette, in eyes, as Paquette now will move under the 79 of Jensen, and Paquette takes over 5th place.
Yeah, Mike's driving a very smart race. Ted Christopher is kind of breaking the way for him. He's just drafting through the pack with Christopher. Smart way to play when you've got a point position to protect like that. And now those front 3 that were running nose to tail are 5, all the way back through the number 1 of Mike Paquette. The leaders, Igor, Anderson, Georgitis, Christopher, and Paquette.
Off the turn they come, and Igor, the surprise leader now after 13 laps, 17 remain, and Anderson yet to make his big move. Here he goes, he tries again. Down into turn number 2 he goes, and again, Igor shuts the door.
This reminds me of Charlie Pastriak's run at the front in the Spring Sizzler. It was great for the first 30 laps. Can Lloyd Igor hang on? Longtime veteran of modifieds and stock car racing here and at Thompson and around the area. John Anderson, former fixture at Riverside Park in the 70s when he won a lot of features. Georgitis, second-generation driver. Ted Christopher, Mike Paquette coming up on halfway among the front 5, and Bob Potter unable to move up very much from his spot.
No, we'll keep an eye on how this race develops with that point championship on the line. And very, very interesting as Potter is hemmed in at the moment behind Chris Jones and Ted Christopher. Out of the turn they come, outbid by Mike Christopher onto Georgitis. Couldn't complete the move. Meanwhile, moving up on the outside of Christopher is Mike Paquette. Off the turn they come. And Paquette and Christopher side by side at the line.
Paquette's not waiting any longer. He knows if he's going to win this championship, he's got to go all the way to the front. Anderson's car may have jumped out of gear. He backed up the field, and Georgitis got piled into the field, really stacked up behind Anderson there.
All right, here they come. Does Georgitis appear to be okay, Ken?
Yeah, he's back underway. He's definitely off the pace, but he's got some ground to make up now.
And that certainly helped Igor as he stretched out his lead a little bit over Anderson. Paquette now running in 3rd place. And
trouble, turn 2. And around goes the Marvin car, Burt Marvin. And sliding to the infield with something badly broken is the bloom in
his car. And Shawansky, with damage to the right front, is back into the infield pit area.
Yeah, broken a tie rod. Apparently not the rack. He can still steer with the left, but kind of coming in on 3 wheels and a prayer there.
I've been around pretty bad. I guess that tow-out situation won't work too well. I don't know if he's going to be able to get it fixed.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have an announcement. Please cover up your ears. It's time to do so. You might be videotaping it or what? Now, Rusty Wallace finished 3 positions ahead of Dale Earnhardt, so Earnhardt's lead is now 208 points. So Rusty closed in a little bit again today.
As we get set for the restart.
Well, this will be interesting. Here they go. They wind them up, and there's the green. We're back underway. Igor getting a jump on Paquette as we resume in this one. However, Paquette with the surge down the front stretch tries to move alongside Igor. Igor drifts up, blocking the way for Paquette. But down low, here comes Mike Christopher.
Boy, Lloyd Agor came right up in front of Mike Paquette. That just opened the door for Christopher. Agor still has the push on somewhat cool tires. Christopher to the lead. Here comes Bo Gunning in 33.
How about the Bo? He's on the move. Here they go into turn number 2 with Mike Christopher leading the way. Let's pick it up, Ken.
All right, Christopher's got this field right where he wants it, all behind him as he charges down. Gunning makes a wide shot, but gets the door shut on him. Had to go down into turn number 3.
Bob Potter's decided it's showtime. Number 51 up to 9th place as he battles Jones off the corner. Down into turn 1. Gunning had a look at the lead. Nothing there. Paquette to the bottom. No chance.
Off the turn, here they come, Ken.
All right, the field's stretching out just a little bit. Now we got to keep our eyes on Christopher in the 80 as well. He's coming up all over the backside of 96. The Brainerd driver, he's doing a great job of holding him off.
Mike Christopher is up to 7th place. Again, Paquette looks at the bottom. Agor comes down to cover the spot, but the two leaders are starting to get away, and with them go Paquette's championship hopes. Back into turn 3. And out of 4, single file back through the front dozen positions.
And it's still Teddy leading the way, and what a battle he's putting on, but Gunning is really putting the pressure on. Once again, Ken, it's yours.
All right, here comes Christopher. He's got the line, but I'll tell you, Gunning is all over the backside of him, and he is just trying to push him as hard as he can.
Turn 2, a car has spun.
Fred Beckham goes around in car 49, and that brings down the caution. Look out, the field backs up as contact is made between Christopher and Gunning.
And Christopher's in trouble, locks him up, and going right over Gunning's car is Wainwright. Talk about your chain reactions.
Yeah, it looked like Christopher got on the brakes kind of hard there for whatever reason, and the reaction ended up as 2 cars taken out in between turn 1 and 2 over there.
Hard to tell just what happened up there in corner number 2 to trigger that, but look at the bit of damage. Not much to the tail end of the Christopher machine, surprisingly, for all the contact that ensued. Well, I was trying to stuff 10 pounds into a 2-pound bag. There just wasn't room enough for everybody down there.
It appeared that Christopher, our leader, got on the binders coming out of turn 2, and Gunning just plowed right into the back of them, and then along came Wainwright right up and over the left front.
Well, the wheel of those 2 cars know exactly what happened and why.
Now, Ken, with them, when that field comes at you, look at the right front wheel. It's shaking the whole car. All right, all our grandstand spectators will get a close look now as the 82 comes by. Just look at that right front wheel, and you see what we're talking about.
Well, you've got a risk-reward decision to make here if you're in the seat of that car. If that wheel is bent, and certainly he can see that from the cockpit of the car, if you come in and change it, you go tail end of the field. The tire's up, so if you can ride it out and hold position, and that appears to be his decision to do so, then that's the thing to do. Need a bit of bite right there. Say a word about Stafford's $1 million track crew. Because without those fellas, it would be a much longer and cooler afternoon. Alan and Peter Ferentz, Agor up and on the outside if he still is fighting that push on the restart. Paquette's done a good job of following Christopher up toward the front. Look at Kurt Brainerd. In that self-sponsored car, he's worked himself up into 4th position, but Bob Potter in number 51 has moved to 7th. We're back under green.
You betcha, and off the turn, here comes Teddy C. He's at the line first, and Paquette under Lloyd Agor will fight for that number 2 position. Here they go into the turn. Agor hung out to dry. Paquette moves into the spot. Ken?
Looks like Anderson might have a bent wheel, but it sure isn't hurting him getting through the turns right now. Lots of shake coming out of that 82 car, coming in through 4 by, tell you, he's screaming that thing through the turns.
Well, Mike Paquette finds himself in the Christopher sandwich right now as Bob Potter is settled in back at 6th position in number 51. Trouble in 2, around goes 1 car, and everybody scatters and gets by. Oops. Oh, except the 49.
Still under green if the 19 can get going. Nope.
I don't think so.
No. It's the 2 car, excuse me.
Into this race, he shot past the accident on the inside, way down in the grass, slid back up on the racetrack, and nearly came to a stop. But perhaps he had the same brake problem that Christopher had in the last incident. I mean, it happened in the same spot. And he got tagged. And it is Neary who is, again, the victim. You just don't want to follow these guys around from time to time.
Now Neary from the pole, Mike Paquette alongside, brother Mike right behind Teddy. And it's Lloyd Agor running fourth down. Here they come. Mike.
Tell you, Bob Potter's driven a smart race in number 51. He's avoided all the incidents, and he's slowly getting toward the front. Father Time ticking along and hoping to win this championship. Paquette drops into second. Agor tries the high side, but Mike Christopher will grab third. Oh, out of turn 2. Burt Marvin got into the back of Bob Georgitis, and both cars ended up wall side. Poor Rich Neary got caught up in another one there. And so did, is that Bob Mercier?
No, Scott Poirier appears to be in the 66.
I'm sorry, you're right.
The wall.
Also involved. The blue car, number 86, Georgitis, came off turn 2. And Ken, how about you? It looked from here as if he got loose and Burt Marvin just got in the back and tagged him.
Yeah, pretty much. He took a pretty good lick up into that turn 2 fence from here. He's pretty well squashed in there, but I'm sure that he should be okay because they're not rushing over to him right away.
Burt Marvin in the 07 gets away.
And he got away from Georgitis. Georgitis went running after him to let him know what he was thinking. He is on the throttle. Off the turn he comes. Leads Mike Paquette. But look at brother Mike trying to work under Paquette.
Back down to turn 1, single file through the front 4 positions, and here comes Father Time. Bob Potter, the bearded one at age 53, has pulled up now looking for 5th place into the corner. Jensen's going to fight him for it, but Potter has the bottom, and a little bit of speedy dry there. He dips to 6th.
You can bet that Bob's not going to take any big chances as they come out of turn 2. How do they look, Ken?
I'll tell you what, they look super. They're coming down. Christopher in this wheel situation doesn't seem to be bothering him too bit. But I'll tell you what, he's got that one car all over the backside of him coming out of turn number 4.
And John Anderson moving his number 15 back up toward the front. 5 laps to go. 5 to go in the Stafford modified season here for the regular Friday night competitors. Christopher Paquette, Christopher Brainerd in a fine 4th place, Jensen in 5th, and Bob Potter running 6th. Kurt Brainerd had a look inside there, just couldn't get off the corner quick enough to get past Christopher for 3rd.
Brainerd is certainly running another good race. He's really come on in the second half of the season. Now all alone in 4th place ahead of Jensen, and he's starting to close in on Mike Christopher. Here we go, off the turn. Nose to tail across the line among the top 4 with just 3 laps to go. Ken, what have we got?
Well, it looks like these guys are really trying to settle in, but I want to keep my eyes on Brainerd at 96. He keeps taking a peek on the inside of that 80 Christopher car. I think he's going to try something in these last laps.
He gave Mike a tap to the rear end that time by in turn 4. And here we go, diving into turn 2 again.
Ooh, John Anderson gets taken way high up the racetrack by Chris Jones as they battle side by side, but Anderson will get 7th spot as they go to turn 3. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to the Stafford modified season. Mike Paquette all over Christopher into turn 1. Last trip around. They head for the backstretch.
Here they go, and Ken?
We got Anderson late in this. I think he's going to take it if he can hold on to that spot. Bad wobble and wheel and all. Here he comes out of turn number 4. On the backside of him, he's got Paquette, but it's not enough.
To the line they come, and it's 10. Christopher taking down the win over Mike Paquette, and our new 1994 champion is Bob Potter. There we have it. That's the story. The Mod Squad putting on a great show once again.
Well, it took several restarts and a couple of accidents to get it done. But the number 82 picks up yet another Stafford modified victory for Ted Christopher. That is his 33rd career Stafford modified win.
Just tremendous. What a guy. Joe Abadi, when you please report to the tower as soon as you can. Joe Abadi to the tower. Mike Christopher in 3rd, followed by Kurt Brainerd in 4th in car 96. John Jensen took the 5th spot in the 79, followed by our champion Bob Potter in car 51. 7th place to the 15 of John Anderson, then it was the 9 of Chris Jones. Tony Sylvester takes the 9th position, and rounding out our top 10 is car number 54 to complete our field for the day.
We'll have victory lane in a moment, and then our presentations to the modified tour drivers and pre-race ceremonies and awards. Be a nice time to stretch your legs, take a walk. No line at the concession stand up in turn number 4 at present, either one.
Hey, Mike, act excited. You did good. Congratulations. That was a good ride. I mean, you guys, it was a good show, but boy, it was rough out there for a while.
Yeah, I don't know, from the middle of the pack back, I don't know, there was a lot of cautions back there, and it made it tough to make a run at anyone. You know, we really didn't have enough green flag laps in a row to really do anything, and but besides that, it was a good race.
Yeah, I know you tried to get under Teddy a couple of times. He wouldn't give you enough space, or you didn't have enough motor, or what?
Well, there just wasn't enough room under there. I think if we went green for a lot longer, I would have had a better shot, but what are you going to do? You know, he was running good, and Mike was running good, and I'd like to congratulate Bob Potter on his 4th championship. He really deserves it.
Come on up here, you. Congratulations on a great ride. You guys put Paquette in the sandwich, the Christopher sandwich.
Yeah, I just wish I could have ran a little better. We're just off with this car, man. I hate to see the other car run better, but hey, at least one of them wins, you know?
Well, them shiny black cars from Mystique Motors really look nice out there, and you guys did well. Boy, it was tough out there today.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, you know? Sometimes it's like that, and it's just the way it goes, I guess. At the end of the season, everybody has a bunch of bugs they want to get out, you know? It's just the way it goes.
I'm glad you guys wear different fire suits, or I'd be in serious trouble here. First of all,
I don't know. Jeez, thanks my feet. I don't know. All depends. Maybe I'll be wearing the same one next year. I have to ask Jimmy.
That was a good drive today, but the incident over on turn 2, you locked him up, and bow gunning collected in the back of you. Did something happen to the car, or what?
Well, it all started when he put me in the front straightaway wall, and then I guess the brakes sort of locked up.
I see. Well, I think it's a love-hate relationship.
I love you too.
Now, the front of the car was wobbling a little bit. Did you bend the wheel up?
Yeah, well, Bo put me in the wall, so that's why I bent the wheel and all the nerf bars and everything.
But obviously it didn't do anything for the handling.
No, the car worked pretty good, you know. It's pretty banged up, but it's going good. It was great to win 2 in a row. We had a tough year here.
Well, obviously, the Christophers and Paquette put on a great show. The winners, ladies and gentlemen, of the modified, and we're waiting for number 51 to come over here.
Today, I don't know why we didn't have much practice yesterday, and we had a bad skip, and we never got it out. But I'm sure glad that we're right here, right now.
You seem to stay away from all of the stuff going on out there. I mean, it was people on top of each other and everything else. How did you manage to do that?
I just took it easy, but the car, you know, like I say, you know, the car was a little off, and luckily, maybe if it was running better, I probably would have got into a jam, you know. But I'm just super glad for myself and for the crew and all the people that helped us out, and being a fourth track champion up here, being in a company with Bugsy Stevens is one of the greatest things you'd ever like to be.
Well, it's well deserved. You did a great job this year, driving very consistent, even with the busted wrist. Ladies and gentlemen, the Winston Modified track champion for 1994, Bob Potter.